Welcome to Boot Camp. We are officially kicking off today. I'm so excited. I have been waiting for this for months. So welcome. You guys are free to comment below on anything that comes up for you. Challenge day one. If you're new to this, you can go to the lashpreneur.com/booked and sign up and get access to our worksheets, our trainings. The replays will be available there if you miss a live, and then our each day of the challenges. So the challenge day one starts off today. You received the challenge in your email. You can always head to Basecamp to download today's challenge. Hi, welcome. So yes, Bookt Bootkamp begins right now. So this is what we're calling the Bootkamp Butt Kick call. Basically, it's a coaching session where I'm going to do a deep dive on the day's challenge, why it's even important, and just so you know, there's no behind, okay? So if you're watching this and it's after day one, just start to get caught up now. And if this is your first time joining me, my name is Tara Walsh. I'm a licensed esthetician, a retired master lash artist, and a business coach and consultant for beauty business owners, just like you. So let's get into today's challenge. I'll show real quick the challenge document. Well, that's not very exciting. Let me see if we can do a little side by side there. We'll do it this way. There we go. Okay, so this is what your challenge document looks like. And today's challenge is all about market research. Basically, your clients are seeing and comparing you to a whole bunch of other people, right? And so your competitors. And so the point of today's challenge is for you to be aware of what you're up against. Now, inside of the Lashpreneur Society, we do teach how you are a unique unicorn and what makes you so different compared to your competition, because it's not an apples to apples comparison. And if you have ever competed on price, it's because you probably think that you are an apple to somebody else's apple that you're being compared to. That is not the case. And we show you just exactly what makes you unique. But first and foremost, you need to understand how your competitors are marketing so that your ideal type of client knows what would make you different. And so you can have the conversation if they ask you what your price point is, that you have an idea of what you might be being compared to. So that is the biggest point of today's challenge, is that you understand how your competitors are marketing, because later on in the week, we're going to identify areas that may be what we call blue oceans, where there's not a lot of competition going on and not a lot of clients that are being served or marketed to, that you could then jump in there and make your marketing so much easier. So the purpose of this challenge is to understand your competitor's business model. Are they even really the same? Are they a franchise? Are they a big salon and you're a solo person? There's a lot of differences that you can do by understanding and doing a little bit of market research, because the fact of the matter is that your clients, you're not the only one they're looking to solve their problem, and they have a problem that they need solved. So if you can understand what is happening, and we just picked 3 competitors. Honestly, if you're looking at more than 3, it's going to get overwhelming and you're going to feel like there's no opportunity. I live in a saturated market. That's just a belief that is not serving you. And so we can actually start to really get honed in on what makes you unique and different, even in the most saturated of marketplaces. I mean, if it meant that in a saturated market, you could not charge premium prices and have a lot of demand, then the Starbucks business model would cease to exist. And yet they're still around. They're still doing okay. They're actually sometimes in competition with themselves in the same center. Anybody else go to a Starbucks location and in the the grocery store that's in the same center, there's a Starbucks as well? Yeah, in competition with themselves. And yet their business model, killing it. So a saturated market does not equal low demand and low prices. Just want to make that clear. Great. You did the challenge this morning, seeing differences from other lash artists and lash businesses. It's crazy, right? And how much awareness and how much more empowered do you feel to make choices in your business, not necessarily based on what everybody else is doing, but the golden opportunity. And this is the beauty of business owners. Beauty business owners, is that you see opportunities. I know with the Lashpreneur, that's what I did. I saw an opportunity where coaching business owners in our industry wasn't a thing. It didn't exist. And yet it exists in so many other industries. And I thought, well, this would be a great way for me to share my skill set to an industry that needed it. that had demand for it. And that's what we want for you. That's how your marketing becomes super effective, is when there is an audience or a market or a potential client that is not being served and she's trying to find you. And that's where we're going to work on tomorrow, is how can you get in front of that client? So this is the great first thing you can do in creating awareness of what else is going on out there, so you know what your customer is also seeing. And then you come in with the gift that is you and your business and your services to say, I know you've been looking for me. Here's my gift to you. It costs this much. Let's go. Okay, I oversimplified, but still, you get the idea. All right, so here's a couple of tips that I wanted to share with you today. Feel free to, oh gosh, I love that, you guys. And I'm sorry, I don't see your names in the software I'm using for Facebook's privacy reasons. And I will try to pull it up here so I can actually use your names, because I want to know who you are. But I'm gonna get into a couple of tips that I found that was super stalker status, where you can actually see what your competitors are doing, or even competitors that are outside of your location, where you can actually kind of start to use them as inspiration for your own marketing. It's genius. All right, I'm gonna refresh there. Let me bring my screen on. All right, first things first. Oh my God, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And sorry if that's annoying if I say, oh my God, but it is. It's that good. All right. This is called the Facebook Ads Library. Let me tell you what it's all about. You can actually, so part of Facebook's page transparency, right, with all this weird, icky Facebook ads in the US going to Congress and how much control they actually have taken a lot of steps to show transparency in Facebook business pages, which means that you can go stalk your competition to see if they're running ads, what their ads look like, what their ads say. And I'm going to use a certain franchise to show you, because I know that they're running ads. Now, not all of your competitors are going to be running Facebook ads, which is why it would be nice if you can look at other beauty businesses or other maybe franchise models that are not necessarily in your city to see what they're doing. Because not only are they running ads, but you could use these as inspiration for Facebook posts. We oftentimes will use the same thing that we run ads for as posts in our social media feed, because they're created to have somebody take an action. There's no point in putting money behind ads if there's no action to it. Whether it's watching a video, whether it's liking, commenting, engaging, going to your website, clicking on this link, that's all actions. Those are called CTAs, calls to action. So let's look at what a certain franchise is doing, what imagery they're using, right? So what kind of photos? So they've got the face masks. They are not shying away from the world that we live in. They're being relevant. But the cool thing, anybody else notice, especially for lash artists, the face masks really just keep the attention on the eyes. That's a beautiful thing, right? So you don't have to necessarily worry about editing and like making pimples and all that kind of stuff fade away. We just get to focus on the eyes. So just keep in mind, look at these photos and anything specifically to lash artists. Now, beauty business owners, you know, hairstylists, estheticians also consider this, but what is it you might notice about these photos that might be different than, say, what your competitors or what you might be doing? Can anybody see up their nose? Are any of the shots like this? You want to know why? Because those are industry shots, meaning that your brands, your competitors, your educators are showing you what you can get as the result as a lash artist, but a client sees themselves in a mirror. They see full face photos. They see what they look like with a mask on, right? So just keep that in mind when you're creating content and images, that you are giving the client the ability to see themselves in that photo. So you guys can go ahead. It's Facebook Ads Library. Just Google it. It's totally free. You can totally stalk your competition if they're running ads. And if you need inspo, go look at other bigger lash companies or lash chains, or if you even see an ad pop up on your feed because you're being targeted, you can go see what other ads they're running. Look at what they're writing. Marketing text is called copywriting. So you can look at the copy that they use in their ad to see what offers they might be doing, what discounts they might be offering, how they're ensuring people are feeling safe. Like this particular amazing lash studio is talking about how they've implemented safety protocols. So you can use this as inspiration. Please don't copy. Please don't just like highlight it, copy and paste it on yours. That's illegal. But you can use it for inspiration to see what other people are doing. Again, it's okay to stalk. It ain't wrong with stalking. Just don't do harm with stalking, okay? Just stalk quietly. Oh, I love that it helped. So we have a user who says, today's challenge helped her see how she's unique, but also gave her ideas of what else to implement. Challenge totally completed. That is exactly what I want for you. And it's okay if you haven't gotten to that point yet where you can see the areas of opportunity. We're going to walk you through that over the next few days too. Let's see. Let me get that out of there. Another thing that I want to help you with, and again, if you have questions, feel free to ask, is the Facebook pixel. And this one, actually, you're not going to be able to see it. So if you look at, this is not showing the whole tab, there is a Chrome extension. So this only works on Chrome. I would only do it on the desktop, not necessarily on your phone. I don't even think it works. I don't think extensions work on your phone, but Chrome extension, and it is called the Facebook Pixel Helper. Yep. So you can actually go to any website. Most websites nowadays have the pixel, the Facebook pixel specifically installed on their website. If you want to get the Facebook pixel uploaded onto your website, this would be the way you check to make sure that it's working. But there's the beautiful thing about Facebook ads, and again, guys, it's only one aspect. I don't suggest you do Facebook ads and we'll kind of go over tomorrow, things you should have in place before you ever do any paid advertising. But you can start to see, are people utilizing the Facebook pixel, which tracks anywhere you might go. So if you go to Nordstroms.com and you're looking at a specific pair of shoes, and then you jump on Facebook and you see an ad for that exact pair of shoes, it's not because they're a stalker, it's because they have the Facebook pixel that they're then retargeting you with an ad. So that's kind of the basics of how the Facebook advertising works in a sense. It's a really great way for you to get in front of ideal types of clients without you knowing who they are, just based on their behaviors. Facebook is like a level 10, level 100 stalker because they know a lot about you, and it's solely because the Facebook pixel is tracking you. That's it. That's it. But those are two ways that you can kind of look at how your competition might be up-leveling you in some ways to know, are they running advertising? It's also a way that you can find inspiration when you're just, I know for me, sometimes I get writer's block, right? And I'm just like, what do I post? I can go into Facebook ads library and find inspiration just based on what either people like complimentary people, even if I'm doing business coaches that aren't in this industry, I can just look at something that they might be posting or advertising to that might give me inspiration. So it's a great way to find inspiration, ideas, kind of research what other people might be doing. You do have to look up their business page, not their personal profile, because ads are only run from a business page. So I found that tip pretty cool as far as like getting inspiration. If you ever want to run ads, that's a great place to start to see, especially for these bigger franchise models. They don't exactly throw a bunch of money without having a return and a result. So you kind of don't have to reinvent the wheel in creating ads that convert, because you can go look at what they're doing and kind of use it as a template, and you can kind of fill in what's unique to you. What I noticed, this is a good one, was that no one had all three: website, Facebook, and Instagram. And there were a lot of old dead links on Google of Lash businesses that no longer existed. Boom! So imagine what your customer's experience would be having that same identification. And we'll get into this again tomorrow, but can you imagine if the only information that was out there about your business was on Instagram? Am I supposed to go through your last 9 or 20 posts to try and like piece together what your business was about? Think about your last 9 to 20 posts. Would that be like a good thing, or maybe not so good? So that's a great identification of where there might be opportunities for you to serve a client, because we're going to get into the mindset of how clients research you and start to get to know who you are and how they find you tomorrow. So make sure day 2 you're tuning in. Yep. You guys are giving great takeaways. Okay. Last little tip for today is it's great to know what your competition is doing. You could check in on what they're doing every once in a while, every time you feel like maybe your marketing is just not as on point as it was, or you just need to be inspired. Then you can kind of go see where areas of opportunity might be. However, the cautionary tale here is don't let your competition make you feel FOMO. So there is a big difference between researching your competition and following your competition. I personally, and I had to go through this myself, this is my own personal journey. Maybe some of y'all are a little more like blinders on, but it was detrimental to me as a business owner to follow my competition because it would make me make decisions in my business that were based on what they were doing or what I saw they were doing and I deemed as successful or like that's the way I should be doing it. The should be's got to go. So I highly recommend not following your competition. Unfreaking follow them because I only see that being something to make you feel scarcity, to make you feel like, oh my God, I got to be doing this and I got to be doing this and shiny object syndrome and hey, squirrel, because you're seeing what they're doing and they may not be what you want your business to be. They may be charging low prices and posting that they're fully booked and, you know, hashtag blessed, no appointments available anymore and not accepting new clients. I'm sorry, but not accepting new clients is a terrible business model. You raise your prices when you get to a certain level of being fully booked. You don't stop accepting clients. That's a great way to shoot yourself in the foot long term. So that is my recommendation, that you do not follow your competition. And unless they make you feel empowered, that you're doing amazing, that you are sticking to your own lane, that you are incredible, then don't follow them. You only need positivity when you're going onto social media because let's face it, social media can be a really toxic place and an epic waste of time if you're doing what I'm calling the doom scroll, right? There's a lot of doom scrolling going on right now in the world. We're just scrolling and it's building our anxiety and our fears, and it's really helping us to feel stuck and paralyzed in the world rather than feeling inspired, motivated, and that you do have an aspect of control of what's happening in your life and your business. So only go on social media for business is my recommendation. Stop the doom scroll. Don't follow people that make you feel negative, uninspired, fearful, any of that. Because when you're your own business owner, guys, ain't nobody there to catch your butt. If you start to tank mentally or emotionally, or you operate in a place of fear, you have to be the one that protects your mental health, your motivation. Your business is a result of who you are as a business owner and as a person. And so if you don't like the results that you're getting, we can work on altering that and shifting that and changing beliefs and getting motivated. But if you're constantly exposing yourself to the scary things, to the things that are externally out of your control, then how are you ever going to get motivated to think outside the box, to challenge yourself outside of your comfort zone? You're not. It's going to be too risky and too fearful. So my 2 cents is don't follow your competitors. There's no need for it. I mean, if you're friends with them, that's one thing. But if you, and quite honestly, if somebody notices that you unfollow them, they have too much time on their hands, right? It's not personal, it's business. And we actually talk about an Instagram cleanse inside of the Lashpreneur Society that you can just tell them that your business coach, told you to get rid of Instagram followers for a specific reason. But that's a story for another day. All right, guys, thank you so much. Your secret word of the day, right? We have secret word of the days in your workbook. Not the worksheet, but the workbook, the very first thing that you downloaded, you have your bingo card, right? So bingo card, the reason we're doing this is because we're actually going to do giveaways and prizes next week for those of you that have either completed bingo and like epic prizes for anybody who's created blackout. But you need the sentence at the bottom where your secret words are going to go. So in email, that's where the first secret word is. Your secret video word of the day today is, hold on, let me share it. On my screen. Give me more screw. Ooh. From. So under video day 1, you'll have, I think there's 10 words. Video day 1 is the word from. Okay, so you got your first secret word in your email today. That was the email day 1. Today's video day 1 word is from. All right, guys, go ahead and leave your wins, your aha, your Lashpreneur light bulbs, whatever you want to call them, in today's post where it talks about the challenge, because I definitely want to see if you're connecting with this. If you have any questions, I'll be in the group today answering questions, as many as I can. Doom scrolling, love it. Otherwise, I will see you at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Sorry if we said standard. It's Pacific Daylight Time. It's Los Angeles time zone, 11 a.m. every day this week, for your Bookt Bootkamp challenge. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Have a good one.